Okay, so today we're going to start talking about ratios and rates. A ratio is just a fancy word of saying essentially a fraction. A ratio is just a way that we can compare two numbers. So at the top it says, on the American flag, the ratio of the number of red stripes to the total number of red and white stripes is 7 to 13. So if we were to count these, there would be 7 red stripes and 13 total stripes. So we can write this ratio 3 different ways. The 3 ways are, you can use the word to, so we could write it as 7 to 13. We could use a colon and write it as 7 colon 13, or as a fraction and write it 7 over 13. So those are the 3 different ways, the word to, the colon, and then the fraction bar. So if I was there, what we would do is I would say like, hey, who would rather you get to pick between having a magic carpet that can take you a bunch of places or a robot? Okay, and so let's just make up some data here. We'll just say that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people who said magic carpet, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 who said robot. So you have to pay attention to the wording. So this says write the ratio of magic carpet to robot, okay? And we're writing it in simplest form. So if we're writing magic carpet to robot, that would be 10 to 5. And if we're going to write it in simplest form, we just want to make sure that those two numbers are not divisible by anything the same. So 10 and 5 are both divisible by 5. So that actually would simplify to 2 to 1. Okay. Again, if I was there, we would have done these survey questions. Would you rather lick a dirty trash can or a bathroom floor? Okay, gross. Let's just say we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so actually, let's do, 6 to 8. So this one's asking us for the ratio of the floor, which was 8, to the total number of votes. So that was 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then what we'd want to do is just make sure that 8 and 14 are not divisible by anything the same. These are actually both divisible by 2. So we're going to simplify it to 4 to 7. Okay, so we're not going to keep going with these hypothetical examples, but y'all get it. We're just paying attention to what we're comparing to what, making sure it's in the correct order, and then simplifying our answer. Okay, then there's something called a rate. And a rate is just a ratio that compares quantities measured in different units, such as miles to gallons, feet to seconds. So you may have heard like your parents or your siblings talk about gas mileage. That's essentially like how many miles you can drive on a gallon of gas. So if you drive a small car, you might be getting like 30 miles to a gallon. So if you buy a gallon of gas, you can drive 30 miles. But if you're driving some big dually truck, you're getting like 9 miles to the gallon. So for every gallon of gas, you can only go 9 miles. So a rate is comparing two different quantities. We're comparing how many miles you can go for how many gallons. And then a unit rate is a rate for 1 unit of a given quantity. So the unit rate, So a car travels 120 miles on 4 gallons of gas. That's a rate. The unit rate, we would do 120 divided by 4 to say that car is going 30 miles for every gallon. So it says find each unit rate. So on this first one, okay, you're buying, I don't know what, and it's $35.96 for 4 gallons of, we'll say it's like apple cider, like fresh apple cider. So we're going to do $35.96 divided by 4, because I don't want to know how much 4 gallons is. I want to know the unit rate, which is how much is 1 gallon. So 4 goes into 35 8 times. I know that because that's a multiplication fact. Okay, 8 times 4 is 32. I subtract, that's a 3. I bring down a 9. 4 goes into 39 9 times. 9 times 4 is 36. I subtract, bring down a 6 again, and 4 goes into 36 9 times. 9 times 4 is 36, and so I'm done. So the unit rate for whatever this is, apple cider, would be $8.99 per gallon. Okay, let's say that you are typing. Everyone remembers like typing club. Okay, and let's say that you did a test and you typed 201 words in 3 minutes. Well, I don't want to know how many you did in 3 minutes. I want to know what your typing speed is, your unit rate. So we're going to do 201 divided by 3. So 3 goes into 20 6 times. 6 times 3 is 18. I subtract, that's 21. 3 goes into 21 7 times. 7 times 3 is 21. I subtract, and so that's 0. So my speed, or my unit rate, would be 67 words. It would help if I could spell words per minute. Okay, and so the last one, if it's $42 and you get 3 books, I want to know the unit rate, also known as the price. How much is 1 book? So I'm going to do 42 divided by 3. 3 goes into 4 once. That's 3. Subtract, bring down a 2. 3 goes into 12 4 times. 4 times 3 is 12. And so that's our answer.